Interested in converting your video to WebM format? Well, here's a quick overview of desktop tools for your consideration. Miro Video Converter is free and adequate for getting a quick free look at WebM, but it's not useful for serious encoding because of several major deficits. First, there are no encoding controls, so if you need to meet a certain target resolution or data rate, you can't. Second, Miura drops frames during encoding, so video playback is not smooth. As you can see, it didn't deinterlace this DV source footage either. Though you can get around the deinterlacing issue by shooting in progressive or deinterlacing in another tool, overall, Miro is a big don't bother. Firefogg has promise, but a couple of deficits disqualify it for serious production work. Firefogg is a Firefox extension. To encode your file, navigate to www.firefogg.org and install the plugin. Then, click Make Web Video, choose your file, and choose your preset. I tested two files during this review, one at 640 by 480 and the other at 1280 by 720. Let's look at the SD file first. To encode, you start by choosing a WebM preset, of which there are two. The first, which has a maximum horizontal pixel resolution of 480, wouldn't work for my 640 by 480 SD test file. So I tried number 2. Dialing in my target resolution here, and video data rate here. Note that there's no equivalent audio data rate setting here. You can use the quality option here, but that's imprecise and means time-wasting trial and error. When I produced the SD file, the video data rate was okay at 422 kilobits per second, but the resolution was 1080 by 810. Audio was 112 kilobits per second, not the 32 kilobits that I wanted. So I couldn't produce my 640 by 480 test file to my test parameters. HD results were better. Firefogg came very close to the requested 800 kilobits per second and produced 112 kilobits per second audio, slightly below the 128 kilobits per second that I wanted but couldn't specify in the encoding parameters. Video quality was good, below that produced by Google's command line interface in high motion sequences, but close in low motion sequences. Overall, with unreliable SD output resolution and unconfigurable audio data rates, Firefogg is a couple of tweaks away from being useful for production work. Wildfrom Flix WebM performed poorly in my tests with totally inaccurate video data rate controls and even worse audio data rate controls. Program operation is simple. You load your files in, choose your encoding parameters, and press encode. As you can see though, the video data rate on the SD file was 1.5 megabits per second, more than 3 times higher than what I requested. Audio was 240 kilobits per second, more than 7 times higher than what I requested. After lots of experimentation, I input a video target of 120 kilobits per second, which came close to the 468 kilobit per second target. But the lowest audio data rate that I could produce was 172 kilobits per second stereo, and I dialed in 32 kilobits per second mono. With my HD test, I came close to the target 800 kilobits per second video data rate by inputting 105 kilobits per second, but the audio was a whopping 500 kilobits per second. At this point, I gave up. To be fair, I was testing a beta version, but either way, don't spend any time with this one until it's released in working condition. Telestream Episode has a simple WebM encoding interface that produced good quality files, but the files had some quality issues when played back in Google Chrome. Episode comes in 3 versions: Episode, which costs $4.95, Episode Pro, which costs $9.95, and Episode Engine, which costs $39.95. All support WebM, and I used Episode Pro. The Episode Pro WebM encoding interface is exceptionally simple. Basically, there's no WebM-specific encoding parameters at all. You choose the normal parameters like data rate, keyframe interval, and bitrate control, and that's pretty much it. Nonetheless, Episode's output quality was very close to the command line output produced by Google, as you can see in this comparison image. And the quality was fine when the video played back linearly. but if you drag the playhead around, pretty soon your video will look like this, which pretty much disqualifies Episode for WebM encoding until the problem is fixed. I'm sure that'll be soon, and we'll post a note on onlinevideo.net when it's done. I definitely saved the best for last in this review, as Sorenson Squeeze provides good access to WebM's encoding controls and very high quality output. I tested Squeeze version 7, which is going to retail for $7.99. While technically in beta, I experienced no technical issues and WebM output quality was superior to version 6.5. Though you can hide the complexity, Squeeze offers the most comprehensive WebM encoding interface short of the command line, with most of the options available in the command line encoder, which is documented here. Squeeze's presets are highly optimized, and in my tests produced quality that matched Google's command line encoder, and was the best that I saw in this review. So if you're choosing a WebM encoding tool for maximum configurability and output quality, Squeeze is it.